Welcome back. Hope you are doing good. In this video, we will understand how to work on cells and also how to work on Excel worksheets. Before checking cells and worksheet, let us understand what are the menus which are available in Excel. If you see in the top, you will see there are multiple menus which are available in Excel, and each menu has sub-menu. For example, if you see Home, you have multiple sub-menus under Home, and if you check the Insert menu, you can see Insert also has multiple menus. This is called as ribbon. The one which you are seeing, this is called as the ribbon. And at the top, whatever you are seeing, this is called as the menu bar. Under each menu, you will either find simple buttons or toggle buttons or simple drop-down menus like this. Like this, you will find in each of the menus. Even if you click Draw, you will find simple menus like this. Page layout, you will have drop-down buttons like this. If I wanted to view the Excel in full screen, I can click in this drop-down section. Under this drop-down, I can select full screen mode to view the Excel in full screen mode. If I wanted to bring back the menu bar, then I have to click here, then select the drop-down button and choose Always Show the Ribbon to show the ribbon again. And you can see there's a quick access toolbar here. You can move this quick access toolbar under the ribbon by clicking the drop-down button here and selecting Show Below the Ribbon. If I click on Show Below the Ribbon, then the quick access toolbar will be shown here. If I hide this quick access toolbar, it will disappear from the menu bar itself. And if I wanted to bring back the quick access toolbar, again, I need to simply click on here and select Show Quick Access Toolbar. Select this drop down button and click on Show Quick Access Toolbar here, and you will see this quick access toolbar has come here. If I wanted to move the quick access toolbar again to the above the ribbon, then I will click this button and select to move the quick access toolbar above the ribbon so that it will go to its default position. Let us see what are the menus which are available. If you click on Home, you will see all these menus. Under Home, these are the menus which are available under Home, including you can use auto sum, sort and filter, find and select, conditional formatting. If you click on Insert, you can insert pivot table and tables, pictures and shapes. You can also bring 3D models. If you click on the Draw, and you can select any one of the drawing tools here, and you can write on top of the Excel here. I can draw using the mouse. If I wanted to delete whatever I have written, I can select this and I can use the delete key on the keyboard to delete. And since it is in the drawing mode, I have to click this mouse cursor to go back to the mouse option. Now I am into the selection mode using this mouse option. Clicking on the page layout menu, you will get options for the page orientation, and you can set the page margins, and also you can choose different sizes of the Excel sheet page. Under the formula menu, you have multiple options to calculate mathematical, logical and scientific calculations. Under the data, you have again multiple submenus to work on different kinds of data, like you can import and export data from XML HTML, and also you can import from different data source. You can also import from text as well. Under review, you have submenus for proofing, and you have also menus for comments, notes, and you can also protect these sheets. Clicking on view gives you multiple options for viewing your worksheet. If you click on normal, you will see the normal view of your worksheet. If you click on page break preview, you will be able to see the page break. And again, if I wanted to go back to the normal, I can click on normal. If you wanted to see how your page looks whenever you wanted to print your Excel sheet to a printer, you can use page layout, and also you can use custom views to select the view of your Excel sheet. Also, you can choose the options to enable or disable the formula bar. So whatever you are seeing, this portion, this is called as formula bar. You can either view or hide the formula bar by clicking here. And if you don't want to see the grid lines are basically the lines whatever you see between the rows and columns. So when you enable or disable the grid lines, you will only see the white area and you don't see the lines for rows and columns. These are the grid lines which has the lines for rows and columns. And if you check or uncheck the heading, whatever column heading you see, this will be removed, and you can enable it to bring back your headings. You can click the zoom here to zoom the sheet to 100%. You can also use the slider to zoom your Excel sheet here. So you have an option to zoom here. And if I select developer, here there are multiple options which you can use to create your macros, to add your macros, and you can also define your own macros so that you can use those macros into your Excel sheet. So now I wanted to create a new workbook. If I wanted to create a new workbook, I can go to the file menu, or I can use the shortcut key Ctrl and N to create new workbook. A new workbook has now created, which says this is the book 5 which I am working. So if I go to the view and if I wanted to zoom, I can use the zoom option and I will enter 175%. I can also use the zoom option here so that I will get the viewing area properly. And if you notice, there is a cell which has been highlighted. When you are working in Excel, there can be one cell, one sheet, and one workbook which can be active at any given point of time. So it will be one workbook, one Excel sheet, and one cell which can be active at any given point in time. So this is the cell which is called A1. So this is A and this is 1. This is the only cell which can be active when you are working on an Excel workbook. If I place the cursor somewhere in between the Excel sheet, this will be the active cell. Now this is referred as F9. So F is the column and 9 is the row. So this will be referred as F9. Similarly, if I place the cursor somewhere here, then this cell will be referred as M and 128. M and 128. So this is called as cell reference, what you are seeing. So M and 128 is nothing but the cell reference, and you can see the same cell reference here also. So every cell in a worksheet is identified by its name. The name will be the column and the row. Now you can see the active cell is in M128. If I create another sheet, you can notice the active cell has moved to A1 straight away. So whenever you are going to create any new sheet, it will move the active cell from one sheet to another sheet straight away to A1. So creating a new worksheet again and again will make the active cell as A1 in the new sheet which you are going to create. So if I create another sheet, the active cell will be A1. If I have placed the mouse cursor in A1, which is here, which will be the active cell, and if I wanted to move to the next cell, which is B1, I can use the right arrow key to move one cell at a time. And if I wanted to go back again to the A1, I can use left arrow key to go back. If I wanted to go to the next row in the A column itself, then I have to use down arrow key. Then I can move one cell at a time in the same column but in the different row. If I wanted to go to the end of the column, which is in the row 2, then I have to use control and then use right arrow key to go to the end of the column. So now I am in the end of the column. This is the column which is end column, XFD, and this is the active cell in the XFD and 2. So this will be the last column in the Excel sheet. If I wanted to go back to the original cell location where the active cell was earlier, then I have to use control and left arrow key. Now it has moved to the original cell location, which is A2. If I wanted to go to the last row in the same column, which is in A column, then I will use control and down arrow key to go to the last cell in this particular A column. So this is the last row in column A, and if I press control again and use the up arrow key, it will take me to the first cell, which is the first row in the A column. Whenever you have an active cell, you can enter 3 types of data in the active cell. The 3 types of data can be text. Now B1 is the active, and now B2 will be the active cell. I can enter number. B3 is the active cell. I can use formula. So these are the 3 data what you can enter in any active cell. It can be text, it will be numbers, or it will be formulas what you can enter in any given active cell, or in any cell you can enter only these 3 type of data. Before entering any of these data, you need to make that particular cell as active. I have copied some data into the new sheet, which is sheet number 5. And you can notice this is the text, this is the number, and if I wanted to use the formula, I can use the formula like this in any active cell. I can use simply sum. So this is the formula what I have used in the active cell. So this will be text, this will be number, and this has the formula in the active cell. So the 3 type of data what you can use in the cell is text, number, and the formula. Let me delete this. If I select the cells like this will be called as a range of cells. And the first cell what you have selected is A6, because A is this and 6 is this. This will be the first cell. The last cell will be the F and the 17. So F17 is the last cell. So the range of cells what you have selected is A6, and it has to be mentioned as A6 and F17. So this is how you need to mention the range of cells. If I wanted to use the name box to highlight the range of cells, I can use A6 and colon and F17. You will notice the range of cells has been highlighted like this. So there are multiple ways of cell selection. If I select the entire cells, this will be called as range of cells. If I select only one cell at a time, then this will be single cell which I am selecting, which will be also called active cell. If I wanted to select another cell which is next to Smith, then I can click on the other cell which is desk. Now I have selected Smith and also desk, but C7 is the one which is active cell. And this can also, because I have selected these two cells, this can also referred as B7 and C7. If you notice, it has been highlighted here, B7 and C7. So this is a continuous cell. I can refer this like this, B7 colon C7. But if I select B7 and if I select somewhere here, this is a non-continuous cell which I have selected. So one cell is C14, one cell is C14 and the other cell is Smith which is in B7. In this case, what I have to do is, if I wanted to use formula, I have to use like this, equals. For example, if I am using function called concatenate, concat equals concat, then I have to use the cell which is B7, and instead of colon, I need to use the comma here because this is a non-continuous cell which I have selected, which is C14. And if I close the bracket and select enter key on the keyboard, then it will concatenate both these values, which is B7 and C14. So this has concatenated as Smith binder. So if you wanted to calculate the cells which are in non-continuous like this, and you need to refer these cells which is D7, D9, D12, D14 and D17. If you wanted to calculate these numbers, let me highlight these numbers. So I have to use equals sum, which is, I have to use the formula sum, then open the bracket, then select the cell, then I have to use comma here. For the next cell which is non-continuous cell, then I have to use D9, then comma, then D12 comma and D14 comma and D17 comma. Because for the last cell I don't need to use comma, so simply I can close the bracket. So because these are all non-continuous cell, I need to use comma for calculating the sum. So now I have the calculation, which is the total for the highlighted numbers. If I wanted to calculate the total of all the numbers which are there in continuous range of cells, then I can use the formula sum. Then I can select the first cell, which is D7, and put the colon, then use the last cell which is in the range, which is D46, sorry, which is D17. This time, because the cells are in continuous, we are able to calculate very easily instead of calculating the non-continuous cells. If I wanted to enter some text in an existing cell, then I have to highlight that particular cell. I can use delete key on the keyboard to delete and enter new text. So I have entered new text in A7. If I wanted to clear the range of cells, then I can highlight all the cells which I wanted to delete. Then I can use delete button on my keyboard. So it will delete. Now I can enter the new text which I have to update for this particular sheet. Then I can go on editing like this. If I wanted to copy only single cell, then I can use Ctrl C after highlighting the cell. The highlighted cell will have the border. So Ctrl C and copy to another cell, which is I and 7. If I wanted to copy range of cells like this, I can highlight the range of cells using the mouse cursor, then Ctrl C, then use Ctrl V to paste in a different cells. If I wanted to copy the entire range of cells, I can use the mouse cursor again to copy and use Ctrl C to copy, then use Ctrl V to paste into different range of cells. Whatever data you have copied into the new range of cells, if you wanted to delete this data, then you can highlight using the mouse cursor, then click on the delete key on your keyboard. It will delete the entire content. If you wanted to undo whatever you have done, then use Ctrl Z to undo so that the data will come back again. If you notice, the last time when we did the delete, the borders and the highlighted colors stayed as it is. I will use Ctrl Z again to undo. Now, if I wanted to delete the entire range of cells, I wanted to delete all the cells in this particular range, and I don't want to keep the formatting, and also I don't want to use the colors as well in this cell. I wanted basically to keep the cells as it was in the new sheet. So I can go to the home, and there is an option to clear all here in the clear. So I can use clear all to clear. Now you don't see the highlighted colors, and also you don't see the border, and you also don't see the formatting. If I wanted to cut and paste, I have to select the cell. I am using Ctrl X on the keyboard to cut a particular cell and paste it into another cell. To paste, I have to use Ctrl V again to paste it. And if I wanted to cut the entire range of cells like this, then I have to use Ctrl X again. Then I have to paste in different cells. So now the data I have cut from this range, and I have moved it to different cells. So this is how you can use cut, copy and paste of single cells and range of cells. I will undo using the Ctrl Z so that I have the data back in its original condition. It is the same operation what you have to do when you are using copy and paste onto the same worksheet or a different worksheet or onto a different workbook altogether. Say for example, if I wanted to copy the region from A6 and I wanted to paste into new sheet, I will use Ctrl C to copy and I can select any one of the sheet. I'll select sheet number 6, then Ctrl V to paste. If I wanted to copy the range of cells, then I can use Ctrl C after highlighting the range of cells and I will paste onto different sheet, which is sheet number 6. If I wanted to copy some more range of cells, then I have to highlight the range of cells using the mouse, then Ctrl C and paste onto a different sheet. Now I have pasted the entire data from sheet 5 to sheet 6. In case if I wanted to move the entire content from sheet 5 to sheet 6, I have to use Ctrl X and onto the new sheet, use Ctrl V to paste. So highlight the range of cells, use Ctrl X to cut and to paste onto a different sheet, use Ctrl V. Now the data has been moved from sheet 5 to sheet 6. So this is the way how you can do the operation on the cells, whether it is cut, copy or paste onto the same sheet or a different sheet or different workbook altogether. I will use Ctrl Z to undo the operation of cut, copy and paste. So I will undo all the operations. Then I will go to the sheet number 5. If you notice, this particular range of cells has some formatting, and also if you see, there is a dollar symbol and there are colors which has been highlighted, and some of the texts are in blue color and some of the texts are in bold. If I select the range of cells to copy and right click, you will get an option to copy, or you can use Ctrl C to copy. And if you wanted to paste onto a new sheet, right click again and you will see there are multiple options which are available for the paste. So if you wanted to paste the data as it is without any change, keeping the format and formulas as it is, you can use this paste option. And if you wanted to keep the formulas, the data which contains the formulas and the related text, it will keep the formulas and the related text without the formatting. If you choose formula and number formatting, it will keep only the formatting for the numbers and also it will keep the formulas. So now the formatting and the number format has been kept as it is without the formatting for the text, because you don't see the highlighted color which was in blue for the text. If you select no borders, it will keep the content and the data as it is with the format but without the borders. So it has kept the content with the formulas and with the formatting as it is without the borders. So you don't see any borders here. If you wanted to keep the source column width, you can click on source column width to copy and paste with the source column width. The column width has been matched to the original data. So paste itself has multiple options for selection. This is how you are going to copy and paste onto a different worksheet or onto the same sheet using these available options for the paste. If you wanted to move the entire range of cells without using the keyboard shortcuts, you can simply highlight the range of cells and if you notice, the cursor is changing its pointer, and if you drag your mouse, you can simply place the range of cells wherever you want. So I wanted to place in this particular location, and I can simply drag the range of cells to this location. And if I wanted to move the data back again, I can move the range of cells to its original location. Now let us look into sheets. So we have multiple sheets which have been created in this particular workbook. This is the workbook where I have been working, and there are multiple sheets which has been already created, and these are the sheets which has been created. If I wanted to rename the sheet, I can right click and select rename. If I wanted to rename as Jan 2024, I can rename like this. If I wanted to delete the sheet, then I can delete the sheet. If you wanted to insert a sheet, you can right click and select insert and choose worksheet. You will see there is a new sheet which has been created by name sheet 8. I will delete the new sheet by clicking the delete option. If you notice, there will be one workbook, one sheet and one cell which will be active always. And if I wanted to select multiple sheet, I have to use Control key on the keyboard and select the sheets like this. So you have selected multiple sheets using the Control key. If you wanted to unselect, then use Control key and then click on the sheets to unselect. So now this sheet 2 is still active. If I wanted to give color for the sheets, I will select the sheets and select tab color, then click on the color which you wanted to apply. So I have given let me give I will give this color. So now the tab color has been set. If I don't want the tab color, then select all the sheets. Right click and tab color, select no color for the sheets. I can hide the sheets by selecting the sheets and click on hide. It will automatically hide all the sheets. You will not see the sheets which are hidden. And to unhide, you can click on unhide and select the sheets which you wanted to unhide. For example, if I wanted to unhide only the sheet number 2, I can select unhide. Only the sheet number 2 will be visible. If I wanted to unhide all the sheets, then I will select the other sheets as well to unhide. There is also an option to protect your sheet. If you right click on the sheet, you can select protect the sheet, and you can see there are multiple options which are available. Based on the restrictions and based on the options whatever you have selected, users are restricted or unrestricted to use the sheet. You can move the sheets from one location to another location by simply clicking on the sheet and dragging the sheet to its desired location. Now the sheet has been moved. You can move this sheet also like this. And if you wanted to create multiple sheets, you have the plus icon here, and you can go on creating multiple sheets. So whenever you are working on multiple sheets in a workbook, and if you see these many sheets are there in the workbook, it is very easy to navigate between the sheets when you use this arrow button in your workbook. So you can move to the left or right of the sheets. There is also vertical scroll bar and horizontal scroll bar to move to the desired data in a particular worksheet. And you also have an option for zoom in and zoom out. With this slider, you can zoom in and zoom out the Excel sheet. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the content, please subscribe and share. Thank you and take care.